Hey guys, and welcome to another process video. I know it's been quite a while since I have posted one, but I'm super excited to get back into scrapbooking and also announce the beginning of a new chapter. Well, I don't know if it's a chapter, but anyway, it's a new YouTube hop that I have been organizing for the past month, and it is a challenge hop. So each month we will give you a challenge and show you our interpretation of it. So this month we will be using a sketch, and you saw a picture of the sketch a few minutes ago. And the sketch is from Creative Scrappers. It was one of the January challenges. Yikes, sorry for my head there. So as you can see, there's two sets of hands there because I couldn't get this line right. And because my sister likes drawing, she has a lot more experience with drawing straight lines than me. So I asked her if she could help me, but it didn't work out that way either. So I'm just doing one myself, and I'm not really minding if it's not perfect. So, as you saw in the sketch, it is full of triangles. So here my sister's getting annoyed at watching me struggle, so she's just doing stuff for me. But yeah, so I am just using a ruler, and I'm trying to do it straight, but I'm roughly creating the triangles just as they were in the sketch. And I'm not going to use pattern paper or anything. I'm just going to watercolor all of these squares in a different color. And I thought if I don't like how it looks, I can just cover it up. So with the magic of video editing, you have seen me fill most of the large triangle with this purple color. I just love purple, and purple isn't a huge color in scrapbooking, although it's making a comeback. If you've seen any other Paige Evans has some purple, Amy Tan on a whim has some purple, Little by Little by Chanel has some purple. So I'm hoping it will slowly crawl into the scrapbooking industry. So then here my sister was bored, and she insisted on helping me paint. So you're going to see her paint in just a bit. So I knew I wanted to do purple, blue, green, and pink, because those are the colors I usually scrap with. But I wasn't sure which greens and blues I wanted to do, so you just saw me there, and you're seeing me now testing all my different shades. And I'm gonna decide on that bright blue and the green that's a pure green, not a turquoisey. So I'm starting with the green, and I'm just going to do that triangle there because I knew the pink because it's similar to. Okay guys, so this is the second time I'm recording this video, so I'm sorry if my voice is a bit screwy. I'm also a bit sick, so I apologize for that. So you have seen that my watercoloring is done. I have done purple, pink, yellow, green, and blue on my layout, and now I'm going to go through my photos and find a couple of options. So there's one that's an old photo from like 30 years ago, and then there's these, and the ones I'm going to use, I don't know where they went, but you'll see them in a bit. I'm not going to use these because I thought they were too large, and then these obviously are too large, but I can cut them down, and I was intending to cut them down as soon as I got them printed, but I didn't get around to it. So I'm gonna just cut them all down while my layout dries, because it's really quite wet, and I didn't add any gesso onto it, so it's very flimsy. Even the slightest movement could have ripped it. Thankfully, I managed somehow, I don't know how, to not rip it. But I'm cutting these photos down to a 3x4, and these are just some photos of me using filters from Snapchat that my friend took of me unwillingly, and I tried to look my best so she couldn't use them on like my birthday on Facebook or something. But yeah, so then I thought I would use my scraps for this one, so I went and pulled out all of my 6x6 paper pad folders with all the scraps and stuff that you have seen in my scrapbook tour if you have seen that. And I found these pieces from Vintage Bliss from it's a Simple Stories paper pad, but they won't stay there, as you'll see in a bit. And then that green is from the Amy Tangerine Stitched. So I wanted a little something behind all of my photos, but I didn't want my photos to mixed together to overlap each other. So I was a bit struggling, especially since the paint isn't completely dry at the moment, so the paper is still very fragile, which is why I glued it down on the other piece right away, just so it would sturdy it a bit. But yes, I also had cut the piece down to 11 by 11 because I knew I would want to have a white border around it just to sort of tone down the color madness going on. So then I added that little strip at the bottom of my photo because, I don't know, I just really like that. And that's from the Amy Tangerine Stitched. And then this thing that you see me holding here is the remains of the 6x6 paper pad from Amy Tangerine. So when you rip the paper out, like the 6x6 sheet, there's this little sort of branding strip at the top, and it has patterns on it from the collection, and I thought they would look really cute to cut some up and use them on my page. I'm just picking out a mix of neutrals and colored ones that I thought would work nicely on the layout. So I have quite a few strips, and I'm only going to use 4. So I'm cutting them in half so I can get rid of that circle in the middle, which is the only bad thing about these. But if you were to layer them on a page and then just stick a photo in the middle where the circles are, I think that would be really cool. So I'm hoping I can do that in a future layout, hopefully soon. So yeah, I'm just going back and forth trying to find just the right colors. So this one had both pink and green, and I thought that would look cool there. So I ended up only using one black and white. Well, it's not even black and white, it's gray and white. And then that one under the gray and white it has very slight color on it. I'm not sure if you can see that because of my lights. But yeah. And then this tissue paper is from Starbucks, and I had bought a present for my mother from there, and I stole the tissue paper and rewrapped the present because I love that tissue paper and I thought I could use it, and here I am using it. And I didn't expect I would use brown, but I'm glad I tried because I really like how it turned out. So I'm just layering that behind all of my photos there. And then I thought I would incorporate some in these strips, but it's just not working, so I'm going to get rid of that in just a bit. And now I'm going to try to incorporate some of those strips somewhere else. And then I remembered I had to make some embellishment clusters according to the sketch, and it also just fit really nicely where the sketch had them. So I used 2 of those strips in the bottom, and now I wanted something to layer on top. So I'm going through the Amy Tangerine Stitched die cut set and also some of the cutter parts that were in the 6x6 piece. And I am going to end up using a little die cut circle. I think it says happiness is homemade. I'm not sure. And it has like a sort of stitched look to it. So there's that. And then here I'm looking for a title because I have no clue what I want to do, and I can't really embellish anything over on that corner if I don't add my title. So according to the sketch, the title is supposed to go in the green triangle there. So I'm between these 2 options because I wanted something bold, but I also wanted something tall. So the tall are the spearmint glitter thickers from Dear Lizzy, and they're called treasure thickers, and the bold ones are those black foam thickers, but they were too small, and these weren't bold enough. So I was really thinking what I was going to do, and I didn't really have another option. That will just see me pulling in a couple of more options, but those didn't work either. So I'm going back and forth between all these thickers, and I decided I'm going to call my layout a Snapchat, just because I haven't done that before and I wasn't thinking really creatively for titles at this point. So then I thought I could use these white thickers because they are the appropriate height, and they're also a bit more, they stand out a bit more on the green than the spearmint ones do. But I don't know, they just weren't bold enough. I didn't like them. So I thought I could find a ready-made title thingy in one of those chipboard sets, but there wasn't anything that could fit this layout. And then I thought I could use these letters, but they're too transparent, so that really didn't work out. I am going to end up using the Dear Lizzy thickers, and I'm going to play around quite a bit with placement because I'm going to try and incorporate them on the pink side or somewhere else on the layout. Because the spearmint with the green is what clashes a bit, but I make it work by just putting a couple over on the pink, and it also doesn't veer off from the design quite a bit. What am I saying? It doesn't veer off from the design almost at all. Because having two, so I really like how it looks on the pink. So I'm going to come up with a solution. There's only like maybe a couple on the pink, but I think it's much better than what it is at the moment. So that's just what's happening here. Also, I'm sure I mentioned it at the end too, but I would love to see what you all make with this sketch if you decide to follow us in our challenge. And please make sure to check out all of the other interpretations in the links below by all the other ladies, because some of them might have completely veered off of the sketch and just got inspired, but I chose to stick to it pretty closely because I haven't scrapbooked in quite a long time, and it just helped me get my mojo back and get into scrapbooking again, since I've only made 2 pages in 2 months in a 12 by 12 format. I have worked a little on my December daily, but anyway, I'm going off topic here a bit. So those letters won't go there. They'll shift over to the green a bit more because it was just a bit too diagonal, and the green part there was too empty because a lot of the pink is filled with the strips. So yeah, I'm gonna have half of the word a little to the bottom and then half of it a little on top, but not completely on top of the other one. And that about completes my layout. I am going to add some black splatter and my journaling and some enamel dots. And what am I saying? There's still a lot of this video left. I'm sorry. But yes, I am going to add black splatter and enamel dots off camera. But first I'm going to work on my embellishing cluster up there with the photo. So the sketch called for a circular element, and I knew I had a bunch of circles in this die cut set from the Notes and Things Value kit from Becky Higgins in Project Life. So I am going to use that So Perfect circle there after I play around with a couple of different options and shapes. I'm sorry if you can hear all this screaming. So I'm just going to add a couple of more chipboard pieces to the layout. Once I decide I'm going to use that circle. So I'm going to add a black chipboard sticker where the So Perfect is, and a little red heart, and I'm going to add a red circular heart thingy over by the journaling strips. And then off camera I'm going to add some enamel dots. And that chipboard is from the what is it called? It's from Me and My Big Ideas. It's one of the Mambi Chips waterfall sets and has a family theme. So I'm adding those pieces, and as I mentioned before, I'm also going to add some enamel dots, and I'm going to splatter in black a bit, just to add a little bit more interest. So I hope you enjoyed the layout, and I hope you create something using this awesome sketch, which is found on creativescrappers.com, on which you can also download a couple of books. So here is my layout. So what I added that you didn't see on camera is a couple of enamel dots and this black splatter, which I am regretting quite a bit. I'm hoping it will dry and it will look better, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. So anyway, here are the close-ups, but I haven't scrapbooked in at least a month, so using a sketch really helped me just be creative without thinking too much and just getting my mojo sort of back, I guess you could say, because I haven't really feeling it either. So I really like how this turned out. Obviously, it's not my best work. I haven't scrapbooked in a long time, and I am really regretting the black splatter. But overall, I like how it turned out, and I really hope you guys try this out. I would love to see what you come up with if you decide to do that. So let me know in the comments below, like leave me a photo or a link to the photo or something, and I'll make sure to check it out. So thanks for watching, and make sure to see all the other lovely ladies' videos for this month.